One step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Shout out to everybody watching. If you're catching this on the live, come on in, come on in. Shout out to everybody that is catching this on the live. Kudos to everybody. If you are catching this on the replay, type in replay in the comment section down below. And, kindly, if you could, smash the like button. So the inauguration has officially moved inside. The last time that this happened was about 40 years ago in 1985 during Reagan's second term, I believe it was, second inauguration speech, which was moved inside. So this announcement came this morning. I'm going to get a quick roll call. What is up, Rob? Hope you're doing amazing. What's up, Bobby? Hope you're doing amazing. Jenny, what's up? What's up, Jen? All right. We are going to jump in. I am officially glad that the inauguration moved inside. Because we've been talking about on this channel quite a bit about the potential cyber threats, the potential drone attacks, the potential inability to secure situations. So I am glad that it is inside. Hands down. More controllables, easy to control. I don't know if this was a sign from God. I feel that it is, me personally, okay? Because there was a lot of stuff going on. Here is Fox News breaking this with the brutal cold that is sweeping the nation right now.
With the presidential inauguration just days away, there's a new concern, and that's the weather.
That's right. Frigid temperatures are expected to plunge in the nation's capital.
Freezing.
Yeah, we're going to be in a deep freeze Monday. This says Donald Trump is sworn in as the 47th president of the United States.
People need to layer up.
They sure do. Fox 5's Tom Fitzgerald is at the Capitol tonight. So, Fitz, how is this impacting the inauguration planning as of now?
Well, it's something they're going to have to deal with. You know, security officials have been telling us for days now that they are going to have to expect the unexpected. So this brutal cold wave that is coming here for the inauguration on Monday, this is another unexpected element that they are simply going to have to plan for. You remember 40 years ago, if you think back, the second inauguration of Ronald Reagan, it had to be moved inside the Capitol Rotunda, and the parade was just outright canceled because daytime temperatures hit 7 degrees with the wind chill. It was negative 25. Pretty cold for those of us who remember that. Now, we're not expecting anything like this, but it is going to be brutally cold. Dr. Katie Bird, an emergency physician over at MedStar Montgomery Medical Center, tells Fox 5 that in this kind of weather, especially for people who are coming here who are not used to cold temperatures, this can be dangerous, yes, even deadly.
It was funny. Right before I hopped on the live, I had called my mom because we were discussing this on the live yesterday, that I had some press passes to go to this inauguration. And, you know, I hear this news this morning. I don't know. I just had this inkling. There was some anxiousness, like Mary mentioned. She said, thank God. I'm so happy to hear that this is inside. I swear I've been so anxious for him and everybody. I also was a little anxious. I was feeling some type of way, more not to go than to go. And I decided not to go. And then this morning, it was this official confirmation for me because, A, I would have been freezing my booty off, and you're not really going to be able to do anything now that everything's moving inside. Great safety protocol. Also, great safety protocol for everybody that's going, because this eliminates potential threats. This is just in my opinion. I think God had a hand in this temperature thing to force them inside. I think so too, Rob. I really do. I really do. There's been a lot of miracles that have happened throughout this entire presidential campaign run, and this is one of them. This is absolutely one of them. I think it does eliminate safety threats for sure. I just got home. Couldn't wait to pop on and see everybody. What is up, Stacey? Hope you're doing amazing. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. So they officially moved the inauguration inside, whether it's through divine intervention. Yes, we're going to say it's divine intervention, right? Due to extreme cold weather, the inauguration will be held inside the first time in 40 years. Donald Trump releases this. He says, January 20th cannot come fast enough. Everybody and those initially opposed the victory of Donald Trump and the Trump administration just want it to happen. It has been my obligation to protect the people of our country. Before we even begin, we have to think about the inauguration itself. The weather forecast for Washington, D.C., with the wind chill factor, could take temperatures to severe record lows. This is an Arctic blast sweeping the country. I don't want to see people hurt or injured in any way. It is dangerous conditions for these tens of thousands of law enforcement, first responders, police canines, and even horses, and hundreds of thousands of supporters that will be outside for many hours on the 20th. Therefore, I have ordered the inauguration address, in addition to prayers and other speeches, to be delivered in the United States Capitol Rotunda, as used by Ronald Reagan in 1985. Great. How many of you guys are happy for this? I see everybody saying, I'm so happy. Thank God it's going inside. With as many times as Trump has been spared, I'm 100% convinced that God is watching over Trump. I agree. I think all of our prayers, all of our support directly for him and the administration, and those, the continuous prayers for those individuals in North Carolina and California, all these things work. They work. Okay. Mary says it's easier to protect him. Yep. Yeah. Ping also said that he wasn't accepting Trump's invite to the inauguration because it wasn't safe enough. And, it's interesting because I talked about this yesterday on a video, and DJI, a Chinese manufacturing drone company, just released restrictions. They reduced restrictions over non-fly zones, so they're able to fly everywhere. This on top of the potential on the cyber attacks that are happening in the Pentagon and throughout, Washington. Xi Jinping was like, no, I'm not going either. And we all know why Big Mike Michelle Obama's not going. Now officially, she knew that this was coming down the pipe. Initially, the urinals were broke. This is a direct comment from Tom. Urinals were broke. This is why Big Mike Michelle Obama was not able to attend the inauguration. Bobby says, and hopefully after this, the truth of everything will come out, meaning the last 4 years. Trump stated that he was going to release the drone information. So let's jump into this real quick, and I'll be reading the comments while this is playing.
The inauguration indoors, you have the hostage release, really right before Trump comes in. You had the assassination attempt, Ronald Reagan as well. Trump is kind of a Reagan-esque president in more ways than one.
And I think that what this represents, too, is that you don't have to do something just because that's how it was always done. here's a president that, to me, hallmarks his decision-making in the same way, which is, let me assess the current situation. Here are the factors. It's not tenable to be outside, so we're going to move it inside. I mean, we see this stuff often with other large events, and I think the reality is that the storied history of this and the solemnity and the iconography that we're all going to be watching and how important and crucial this event is, all of that remains the same. And now everyone's going to be a lot more comfortable. And we don't have to look at Bernie Sanders memes and mittens on, right? The reality is we have here in New York, we're expecting temperatures colder than 2 years past, I believe, historically. So he's absolutely right to protect those Americans that are going to see this historic and wonderful event. So bravo for making a common sense decision that will, in the long run, protect a lot of Americans.
Anybody up there in the Midwest? I know a couple of you folks in the chat are from in the Midwest. We got this cold situation sweeping. Let me pull it up real quick. It is this cold front that's sweeping. Let me know if you guys are in the Midwest or where this cold front is coming. Let me see where I can find this. It looks like it's sweeping the entire Midwest. It's sweeping the upper states here. Let's see. All right. Yeah, it looks like it's sweeping this entire top portion here. It's even coming down a little bit to Nevada, Utah, things like that. Do you think maybe the elites who control the weather caused this? Because I know they have control of the weather. Yes. Yeah, you know, we presumably, right, for the YouTube purposes, I know that they have control of some weather manipulation devices and things of that capacity. I'm not sure if that was in play for this particular situation. I feel differently if you were to ask me about that for North Carolina. I definitely feel differently about that. I don't know if you guys heard, but a lithium plant in California actually it exploded as well. That was recent. That was, I'm talking maybe 5-6 hours ago or something like that. Pa says, our president needs to be protected at all costs. Yep. Rob says, the Biden administration is pissed that Trump's getting all the credit for the hostage release thing, and Biden administration can't fight their way out of a wet paper bag. Ain't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? Yeah, Biden, he's trying to take credit for this entire situation, for this entire hostage situation. And it's crap. Rob says, super windy today in South Dakota. It was chilly last night, and chilly might be relative to you guys, some of you guys in North Dakota, some of you guys in the Midwest and things like that. I think it dropped down to like 37. Right before I went to bed, it was 42 last night, and that is chilly, okay, for a Las Vegas native. 42 is a little chilly, okay? President Trump will be safer inside. Yes, I agree. Stacy says, I'm in Rhode Island next week, next time, going down to 9 to 10 degrees. Oh my gosh. That is, whew. I've been to Alaska a few times. I've been in some negative weather. I feel for you guys. I feel for you guys. Stacey says, poor California is burning into the ground. We're going to get into some of that information here later later on in this video. DCBA says 42 is warm. Yeah, it's relative, right? Oh, man. Mary says it's all about the lithium. I agree. And this, I want to jump into this. This is a message that Dan Bongino, put out on January 15th, speaking about the ineffectiveness of the Secret Service.
Folks, I've been warning you about the threat to the inauguration through drones. I've got a lot of sources that have been feeding me information. I am absolutely unconvinced that the Secret Service has a bulletproof, pun absolutely intended, plan for a swarm drone attack in or around the inauguration. I'm not telling you they don't. I'm not telling you they do. I'm just telling you what sources are telling me, that they're not confident. Is it safe or not safe? That's a question on the margin, okay? I'm not sure. I'm just telling you I'm concerned. I really wish people would have reached out. The Biden administration, of course, can't stand me. They have zero interest in anyone with any expertise in this taking an unbiased look at it because they just don't care. But here we go. Zero Hedge. Chinese drone firm DJI eliminates the automatic no-fly zones 1 week before Trump's inauguration. Oh, my gosh. What a coincidence. The judges ruled that is an amazing coincidence. What does that mean? Folks, for those of you who operate drones in these FAA restricted areas, there were certain built-in automated features which made it extremely difficult for you to fly that drone into an area the FAA says don't fly there, i.e. like over the inauguration. Well, this Chinese firm, can you throw that up again? DJI, which makes a extraordinary number of parts and drones themselves, just conveniently was like, we're going to dump the automatic feature. Now it's just going to be like a warning, and the drone operator will get like a warning, like, don't fly there. And as you know, right, Justin, terrorists, when it says don't fly there, don't fly there? They are, he's 100% correct. They are absolutely law-abiding citizens. So, of course, they're going to listen to the instructions on the screen. You think that's a coincidence? Why is your boy here a little worried? You think I'm like the clickbait guy? I didn't even cover the hearing live yesterday. I prefer to be right, not first. People want to be first to clickbait guys. I'm telling you about this because I'm concerned. Am I panicked about it? No. The sack of the Washington field office and the Secret Service, Matt McCool's a very smart guy. I hope they're on top of this. I'm just saying, if your faith in the system is, well, nobody will fly a drone because we told them not to, then you better think of a new system.
So Dan Bongino said that on January, it was a few days ago, January 15th. I believe he said it on the 13th on his show, 13th or 14th on his show.
Folks, I've been warning you.
He actually had Donald Trump on yesterday. Donald Trump called in Dan Bongino's show telling him about Ray Epps and the J-6 bomber and the scaffold man. This is huge. He said that he was going to release this information out to the public. He was going to get to the bottom of the J-6 situation.
I believe that is the case. Can we get an answer between you, Pam Bondi, and hopefully Kash Patel on who this person is and have the FBI open the books? Because I believe this is a huge scandal and a massive cover-up.
I think we will, and I think we're going to find out about Ray Epps, and I think we're going to find out about Scaffold Man. You know who Scaffold Man is, right?
Yeah.
The guy who's screaming to everybody, go into the building. We're going to find out who Scaffold Man is, and we're going to find out some other things. And I think you're going to be very happy with what I do with respect. I call them the J6 hostages because I consider them hostages. They did a beautiful song, and they asked would I do the words, not the singing, the words. And I did. That song went to #1 for so long. It was beating out Taylor Swift. I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift, but that's okay. And everybody else, beating them all out for a long time. And it was pretty amazing.
I believe that is the case. Can we get an answer between you, Pam Bondi, and hopefully Kash Patel on who this person is and have the FBI open the books? Because I believe this is a huge scandal and a massive cover-up.
I think we will, and I think we're going to find out about Ray Epps, and I think we're going to find out about Scaffold Man. You know who Scaffold Man is, right?
Mitchell says, stop epping around. You know it's a sign. Yeah, I do. I do know it's a sign. It definitely is a sign, 100%. I don't know how far along you are in the video, but yeah, I agree. It is 100% a sign. Bobby says a lithium explosion is interesting. They want lithium. So how did this fire start? This isn't the first time. Yep. here is just a small clip. I'm not going to share this entire video. I might place this after. I might place this in the description link down below after this live is done. But this is Reagan's inauguration speech. I've already fast forward about 3 minutes and 50 seconds, but this is his speech inside in 1985.
There are no limits to growth and human progress when men and women are free to follow their dreams. And we were right. And we were right to believe that. Tax rates have been reduced, inflation cut dramatically, and more people are employed than ever before in our history. We are creating a nation once again, vibrant, robust, and alive. But there are many mountains yet to climb. We will not rest until every American enjoys the fullness of freedom, dignity, and opportunity as our birthright. It is our birthright as citizens of this great republic. And if we meet this challenge, these will be years when Americans have restored their confidence and tradition of progress, when our values of faith, family, work, and neighborhood were restated for a modern age, when our economy was finally freed from government's grip, when we made sincere efforts at meaningful arms reductions, and by rebuilding our defenses, our economy, and developing new technologies, help preserve peace in a troubled world.
How many of you guys have seen that Reagan movie with Dennis Quaid? I still haven't seen it yet. I believe, I don't know if he's in the, I don't think he's in the chat right now, but just in case, has seen it. I think Rob, you might have seen it as well. But how many of you guys have seen the Reagan movie? Stacy says, I voted for Reagan the first time I voted. That is awesome. I love that. Stacy mentions the reason they're fighting in C about rebuild, they are full of lithium mines. They are. There's some lithium stuff going on in California as well. Jackie says, I'm glad they moved it inside. I didn't realize how much lithium, Rob says, I didn't realize how much lithium was actually in North Carolina. It's crazy when you start to just do a quick Google search. You can do a quick Google search and you can find all the lithium mines that are located in North Carolina. Crazy. Scarlett says, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to. Yeah. Me too. Stacy says, I think a watch party would be good. Yeah, I think so too. We would have to probably do that watch party on Discord because of copyright purposes for YouTube. I think that's a good idea, Stace. I think that's a good idea. I like that. Let me just let me jot that down right now. Yeah, that's a really good idea. We'll have to do it on Discord. If you're not part of Discord group, you can tap in below in the comment section. You'll see the Discord group link. Bright Star, what is up, Bright Star 23? Nice to see you in here. Haven't seen it yet. Rob says, if you haven't seen the Reagan movie, you have to. Linda, very good movie. Good. All right. Now, we're going to jump into this Newsmax clip. This already started happening a few weeks ago. Illegal migrants have already started self-deportating themselves. They're saying, hey, we're not trying to get captured while we're going to the quick trip, okay? So they started self-deportating.
Trump has promised to carry out the largest deportation operation in U.S. history. And before those operations begin, some migrants are already choosing to leave the country voluntarily. News Nation's Jorge Ventura joins us live from San Antonio, Texas this morning with more on this story. Jorge, how many migrants are we actually seeing doing this, leaving voluntarily?
Right now, Marky, it's unclear, but we are starting to see a trend, and this comes as cities across the U.S. and Mexico are now bracing for President-elect's deportation operation. But his hardline messaging on those deportation efforts have some migrants panicking and some even choosing now to self-deport back to their home countries. I spoke with immigration attorney Rolando Vasquez, who tells me that some of the immigrants that he represents that entered under the Biden administration are now choosing to return home, fearing deportation under the incoming administration.
Just as recent as yesterday, they notified me that they're going to depart the country voluntarily, and understanding that, the Trump administration is going to carry through on their promises.
And it's not just Trump's deportation plans that are influenced these decisions. Vasquez says it's also that Mexico is now open to accepting non-Mexican deportees. Mexico's move would impact Cuban and Venezuelan migrants the most, since those countries typically do not accept deportation flights from the U.S., but may from Mexico.
This is causing for many migrants to leave on their own, knowing that they're either going to be deported to their home country or be deported to Mexico. And they obviously, the overwhelming majority of them do not want to be in Mexico.
And my sources in Mexico tell me that it's likely that cartels and smugglers will exploit, kidnap, and extort those newly deported migrants. As of right now, it's unclear if Mexico has a plan to protect those deported migrants, Marky.
Yeah, border's about to change on Monday, at least.
See you later. Adios, amigos. Not all of them are Mexican, but a lot of people are flying into Mexico and then crossing the Mexican border. But adios. Adios. And it says, bye-bye, illegals. Scar says, you betcha Trump will carry out those threats. Absolutely. This comes off the cuff of Tom Homan. Tom Homan stating that they are going to initiate DNA testing.
And we haven't decided we're going to do it or not, but I said it's something that may be on the table. And why? Because exactly what you just said. Look, under the Trump administration, we did DNA testing, and one pilot, I think it was El Paso, we found almost 1/3 of the families weren't even families. These children were victims of trafficking. And look, this administration lost over 340,000 children that were smuggled in this country, released to unvetted sponsors, now they can't find. We know for a fact some of these families are families. We've proven that. So, but family residential centers are built for families. They're not jails. They're not hardware, concertina ware. They're built for families. And one of the reasons we're considering doing that is so we can do DNA testing, so we can do a deep dive investigation, make sure that family's a family and that child is not a victim of trafficking. This is about saving children.
Yeah, that makes sense. 300,000 missing children at least right now under Joe and Kamala.
That is an insane number. 300,000+ kids missing. That is crazy. It's heartbreaking. It's crazy. Linda says the border should change. I have a friend who came here legally and not happy about the illegals coming here. Same. My mom. My mom's been navigating through her legalization citizenship process for a very long time. And she's like, these people just cross the border. They get money. They get in nice hotels, nice stays, food vouchers. It's crazy. I would be like, I'm upset for her, but if it was me, I would be furious, absolutely upset. Stacy says, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Amen to that, sister. Amen. Every single person who comes to this country should have to give a DNA sample. Absolutely. Watch out, because Mexico is asking for money from the UN. Yep. And I don't know if you guys have heard, Joe Biden, looking to reduce tobacco and things like that. So this just gives another opportunity for cartels to smuggle cigarettes across the border. Just another thing that the Biden administration opened and unlocked Pandora's box to, that the new administration has to go ahead and clean on up. There's going to be a lot of cleaning up, a lot of crap that needs to be cleaned up. Michael says, sad the event is going to be indoors. Yep. I'm actually, this is a good opportunity. I'll be streaming. I'll stream the inauguration. I'll start it in the morning, and we'll just, because I'm going to be watching it, so we'll just do a little watch party. All right. Sorry, I was just catching up on the chat. I want to make sure that I'm catching up on the chat. This Zachary Young case, lawyer asked CNN, thinks jurors are stupid at the trial. Zachary Young CNN was found guilty for defamation for Zachary Young. Zachary Young, who is suing, I'm not even sharing screen. It's not helpful at all. Zachary Young, who is suing CNN for a defamation case, asked the network, the lawsuit comes as trusted legacy media organization, blah, blah, blah. So this happened during, let me lower this. So who is Zachary Young? Zachary Young is a U.S. Navy veteran who helped evacuate Afghan citizens during the U.S. military withdrawal in a war-torn nation. He was featured in a segment on CNN, The Lead with Jake Tapper, on November 11, 2021. The defamation lawsuit, Young is accusing CNN of defamation. In the lawsuit, Young alleged CNN maliciously destroyed Young's hard-earned reputation and livelihood. Now, the verdicts came out today, and he was awarded. CNN is liable for this, and he was awarded $5 million.
Damages for both lost earnings in the past and for the loss of his earning capacity in the future, reduced by the amount that plaintiff could have earned from comparable employment. $4 million. Number 4. What is the total amount of plaintiff Zachary Young's damages for pain and suffering, mental anguish, inconvenience, injury to reputation, and loss of capacity for the enjoyment of life that he sustained in the past and that he...
It's very difficult to hear. The volume's really low, but Young was awarded $5 million for past monies that he lost, and then future earnings that he could have potentially gained. Next story is about California. I have some particular thoughts about this. This is the rents in California post LA fires have skyrocketed.
A real estate mogul, star of $1 Million Listing LA, the owner of the real estate company, the Altman brothers, Josh Altman. Josh, thanks for being on.
Chris, thanks for having me. I'm getting off of the craziest week of my 20-year career. The phone has not stopped ringing, not in a good way, not the type of business you want to be doing. We have over 1,500 new renters just locally. I'm about 10 minutes away from the Palisades. We got a lot of people in this new market. There's an entire off-market business that's being done right now. No one can find a rental. It's insane. People are trying to make deals with empty houses that were supposed to be for sale. We're in uncharted waters here. Ordinances are changing by the hour, which is good because people are trying to figure out a way to speed the build process to get these people back to normal life. But also at the same time, even somebody like me, I'm learning as we go. If you asked me 2 weeks ago about price gouging in real estate, I wouldn't even know what you were talking about. And now it's a very big deal here. I'm actually involved in a group of realtors that have this list that people are putting together. There's over 2,000 units just on this list of people who had different prices late December, and now they are higher in January. That's a big issue for multiple different reasons, and it's very obvious. This is not like you can hide this. This is public record. People can look what it was on for a couple weeks ago, and it's a big problem that we're dealing with, and it's really a race to who can get to these leases first and make a deal. And we don't even know what's going to happen at the end of the day.
Well, I get the price pressure of supply and demand in this situation. That was going to happen. But the state made the 10% rule. How are they getting around the 10% rule?
Well, we're going to see what the punishment is, right? Because we don't even know what that is yet. People who have learned about it, like us, for instance, we've had meetings with our brokerage. We can't even take those listings if that's the case. We don't want to be anywhere near them because you're going to get dragged into them on a real estate agent front as well. So it'll be interesting to see. What I'm hearing is if you were on for $10,000 a month, for example, and you raised it to $20,000 a month, that tenant, once they're in that house, I would be very surprised if they're not able to get the entire difference of that $10,000 back if they go out and hire an attorney. But there's gonna be so much of it. You have to realize we signed $250 million worth of listings in the past week. We usually do that in a month and a half. There's more properties flooding the market, both for sale and for lease. I have 50 friends just personally with houses that I've sold that have lost their houses completely, and they're going to do whatever they need to do to get their family to some type of normalcy. You can't live in a hotel for that long. You got to get back to reality a little bit. I will also tell you, Chris, I walked the Palisades. I walked Malibu.
So the Palisades is absolutely on fire. What they're speaking about here is the rent control. So California has a rent control situation where you're not allowed to increase rents over 10%. But some individuals have increased rent significantly higher than 10%. And the argument here is, how are they able to do that? Well, you know, if you don't list your property on a multi-listing service like the MLS or through a real estate agent, you really, truly have the ability to kind of rent at the cost of whatever you may see fit. And there are other stipulations that you can add in to increase rent, whether that's a fully furnished home. There are a lot of individuals that rent fully furnished homes, and the furnishings aren't necessarily, they count towards the rental cost because you're providing them with an additional service, almost like an Airbnb. Now, the argument is, how can they do this? Well, you just do pocket listings. And, you know, unfortunately, there's going to be people that profit on these type of situations. Reasonably so. I'm just being honest here. Supply and demand is a big thing. If the supply is short, you can increase the market value for that particular thing. Is it right? You know, that's based on that individual. In California, I know that it is very difficult to get a tenant out of a scenario, out of a lease agreement, or out of a home. I know they weren't throwing this kind of scoffle and crap around during COVID. I had a very difficult time during COVID with my rentals. There were some individuals that didn't pay for a very long time, of like 2.5 years. And they would go on this like COVID. They would say that they had COVID. They would miss court dates because they had the COVID or the C-19. I don't even know if I can say it anymore. It doesn't matter, but I already said it a couple times. But because they said they had the C-19, then they would be able to miss court. Then they would give them another 30-day extension. I wasn't able to evict because of that. And there were some scenarios where it was 2.5 years until I finally got those individuals out. And they did give some relief to landlords, but there were specific guidelines in order for you to qualify. And, unfortunately, I didn't qualify for those. Because the revenue has to be under a certain amount or whatever the situation is. But anyways, this is a total supply and demand issue. I get it. I get it. What's up, Stephanie? Sorry, I went on a little rant there. Scarlett said, God moved President Trump inside to protect him from the evil demons. Absolutely. Rob said, trolls make me laugh. I like the trolls too. I like them. Y'all are crazy, man. Badass said, thank you, Jesus, for continuing to protect Donald Trump. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Bobby says, we're getting spicy in here. Yeah, I'm reading back the comments here. I'm like, holy crap. I went on a rant. You guys are gone. I love it. Oh, man. God canceled the outdoor event. Yep. Oh, man. It's getting hot up in here, man. Anyways. But and shout out to all the moderators in the chat, because you guys got a job, man. So shout out to the moderators in the chat. But yeah, this rent control situation here in California is going to continue to escalate. I think individuals are going to continue to ask for more than what the property actually is valued, simply just because of supply and demand. I know that they're doing it out here in Vegas. They're asking for crazy amount of rent for a smaller home, just because there's limited supply. So I get it. I have a shirt that says, I'm not mean, I'm nice and spicy. Oh, man. Oh, man. You guys are awesome. Rob, you're awesome. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. You guys are getting fiery up in here. I love it. I love it. Do I have a fire sound? Let me see if I got a fire sound. Oh, I got this one.
Got him!
Oh, man. All right. I am Oh, man. So anyways, I want to, again, give a huge shout out to the moderators in the chat. You guys are freaking awesome, because without you guys, yeah, this wouldn't be happening. And so shout out to the moderators, and shout out to everybody in the live chat. The live chat, super, super awesome. And I think I'll figure out how to do the potential watch for, like, a watch party for the Reagan movie. I'll place that in the Discord group. If you're not part of the Discord group, the link is going to be in the description down below. Super easy. Just click it. We'll probably be in the generals tab or some video sharing. I'll post it on there as well. But I'm going to jump on out of here. If you're catching this on the replay, type in replay in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts about Donald Trump moving the inauguration inside. We already know what's going on in the chat. The chat is hot right now. So let me know your thoughts about the inauguration moving inside. Let me know about the rent control in California. What else did we go over? Reagan, all this other stuff. Anyways, drop it in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys later on today. Smash the like button if you kindly would, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. We'll chat soon. Thank you guys so much. You guys rock. Chat soon.